How's it going, everyone? Jiivita here with a community spotlight on New Nixia. This is a new town that is on, let's see here, Circopus 1, which really is, I don't know, at least in my opinion, a very beautiful planet. But then again, I am rather biased to the Lush planets. It is a tier 4 planet, so I guess, I don't know, it kind of seems to be one of those planets that civilization has largely kind of avoided. It's like not a whole lot of reason to necessarily go there for resources, and it's a little bit harder to live there because it is a tier 4 world. So yeah, it just is a little bit on the low population side, which actually kind of adds to its mystique, at least in my opinion, because there isn't just a whole lot out there, and the natural landscape is so beautiful, and the few builds that are out there, or settlements that I ran across, they have a really nice they kind of work with the terrain, and instead of just kind of paving over and replacing all the terrain. But let's get out there. So first things first, how to get there. We're on the Gravitas Tay Portal Seeker Hub, and yeah, we're just gonna head right over to the Ultima Guild HQ, coming through here, and then it's gonna be on the south side of this kind of portal area. It should be, yes, this gold sign right here. It's called TNT Mega Hub because, well, it kind of connects to a Mega Hub, so pretty impressive. So there's actually lots of ways to get here. I just kind of feel like this is maybe the most public or easiest to find, but we have portals leading to Legendville, Golden Fist, Code Gleam, Discount Tower. Let's see, we have a couple. Oh, here's an Ultima Mall, which is almost just basically in the different, which is very close to the other Ultima portal, and it also connects to the Ultima hub for this actual planet, Circopus 1. There are two connections to portal seekers, but they're two low-level planets like Alder, and then I think it's Seganaki over here somewhere. Yeah, at least I think that's how you say it. So there are some low-level connections to portal seekers, which I suppose if you're a new player might kind of increase your likelihood to find this place. You will need at least 1 point into caustic protection as far as skills, because it is a level 1 or level 4 planet, excuse me. So at least 1 point into this caustic protection skill right here under exploration, which is underneath Epic 2, Epic 1, Crafting, Masteries, and then finally Attributes at the top. But yeah, let's take a look at this place. So the reason why it's called New Nixia is that there is a old Nixia that was on Trior. It's in the process of being deconstructed, but it looks like it was a pretty cool place back when it wasn't in the process of being deconstructed. But let's hop back over here. Probably the first thing you may or may not notice is this huge kind of, it almost strikes me as governmental type building, but it is a museum for basically all of the planets. And what I find really cool about this one is that it has a section for all of the exoplanets that have ever been in existence. So I certainly haven't been to all of them, so it's kind of cool to kind of see what those planets were kind of like since I missed out on them. But I think it's all the way up at the top, but kind of get the general ideas like, oh, here's Circopus 1, then it has all the blocks, both available on the shop stand, so you can actually kind of interact in, maybe, I guess you can come around the back. Here we go. Interact here and actually see, oh, it's dark violet, or something that you otherwise wouldn't be able to see just by looking at the block itself. But let's see here. Looks like, yeah, way over here to the right are all the exoplanet displays. And here we go. So yeah, I came over here, it's like, look at that green. And what color is that again? Oh yeah, vivid lime. That is a pretty bright green. But I also have this vivid moss over here, gleam, which is pretty impressive as well. But So if you're kind of curious what these planets looked like, you can at least get an idea of what they looked like over here. And of course they have all of the standard planets or all the pre-existing planets that are out currently. And they're even planning apparently a huge kind of annex or expansion. Oh, that's cool. I don't think I saw that last time I was here. To basically expand for future EXO worlds. So let's see if we can figure out how to get to this spot over here. It's kind of like is it a courtyard? Yeah. Oh, that's cool. Okay, so it's covered over a glass. Maybe that's why I didn't see it. Another cool thing is many of the buildings around here, the roofs are kind of being prepared in anticipation for the farming update. So like most of the buildings, or at least quite a few of them, will have basically farms on top of them, depending on, I guess, how the farm update exactly functions. So, but I don't see any reason, even if you do need to irrigate with water or even lava, you'll be able to move that fluid around. So sounds like you'll be able to farm just about anywhere you could possibly want. But oh wow, so yeah, I missed this as well. They got lots of room to expand over here for either normal planets or exoplanets. So very nice. Let's kind of jump back over. I think here we go. And the nice thing is that many of these buildings have portals kind of connecting them all together. So let's hop back over here to the hub area. And I guess since we're looking at it already, there is the EXO Shop over here, which, if you probably, as you might imagine, specializes in EXO materials. And apparently the front of the store changes from time to time with different EXO type materials. Or at least this growth in the background is from an exoplanet. And I think they have a display right here. We go. Yeah, light verdant growth from Colas Tay, it looks like. Material of the moment. Very nice. But yeah, they got some Rift for sale. They had some Rift for sale. I think I actually bought their last one. They also have some Blink and some gems over here. And then they have like little, here we go. So I think all of the EXO worlds are currently extinct or expired, I guess maybe is a different, but you can kind of come here and they'll have atlases, a location in order to get there, and even what planet you can get to it from. So it's a nice little kind of almost informational type shop. But over here, yeah, so here's an example of one that has expired. But pretty interesting kind of concept and maybe a bit of information to be had. But oh, okay. Let's go check out this tower. I really love this tower. It's got like, was it the Punisher skull on it? Or at least that's kind of what it reminds me of. And just is very nicely done. Maybe the current time of day isn't doing a whole lot of justice. I think it probably looks a lot better at night, but just look at that. That is very nicely done. And I don't think it's like, it almost looks like it's made out of gold, but I think that's actually, yeah, that's a sedimentary rock. That's some refined sedimentary, so it's like they didn't just purposely use a whole lot of high prestige blocks for the sake of high prestige. And I always kind of appreciate that, of like, even the basic materials, even though they're really easy to get, used correctly, look amazing. So, but let's see here. There might be, yeah, there's a portal that goes up to the top here, or does it? No, that goes back to the hub. But strangely enough, I think there is a portal all the way up there, so let's just go ahead and get up there. Don't splat on the ground first. There we go. Here we can get a nice view of the town below. So, very nice. Ooh, that's looks pretty interesting. Is that like, almost looks like that might be something on top, or like a caged whatever. We got a shop over there. There's the EXO Shop. Of course, the museum over there. And looks like it's laid out pretty nicely, kind of basically a grid form. Let's jump back over. Yeah, that's really nice. Kind of had like these machined iron archways. This is a kind of a forge shop right here called the Incredible Forge. I really like how they took these. It's like, it almost looks like a ladder, but then it's just, I don't know, it's a very nice kind of decorative detail. And I suppose if you wanted a electrifying experience, you could try to jump through the power coils there. I don't exactly recommend it, but kind of have what they dubbed the Death Star core or something right here. It's this nice little kind of sphere thing of gleam. That's really nice. But the general layout here is that you have the basic stuff on, say, the ground floor, and as you step up, the forge quality goes up as well. Like this one looks like it has some, I don't know if they're actually defects, or if they're, yeah, I guess they are defects instead of just quirks. But then the higher end stuff is up here. Looks like we have max damage, extra range, along with 1600 extra durability. So that sounds pretty decent. Let's see here. Doesn't look like it has any extra projectile speed, but I think, let's see here, what is the projectile speed? I think these have a decent flight speed and arc to them just by default. So if you did like extra range on a diamond sling bow, it'd almost be a waste. But with something like a balanced either ruby or sapphire, is probably pretty decent. Otherwise, ooh, so we got tier 6, 3x3, 8 out of 10 damage, and 2000 durability with looks like no any kind of quirks or defects. So that's pretty nice. But pretty cool little shop. Moving along, let's see what's over here. Okay, yeah, so this is the superstore, and this is pretty impressive in its own right. So up top we have just about everything you can imagine being both purchased and sold. So let's see here. A little bit high for shimmering orbs, but then it's also a pretty decent buying price for shimmering orbs as well. And like I said, just about everything you can imagine. And then down below, they have this really cool pool right here, but it has a dual purpose of acting almost like an elevator. So underneath here, this is probably one of the more interesting kind of machine room layouts, mainly because you have the machine, but then it's surrounded by all these shop stands, which are acting essentially as storage for all the different materials. So you can both see, you know, oh, I got titanium furnaces, blink, and rift right there available for that machine. Over here, this one kind of specializes in metal, and there's even signs that kind of denote what each machine is for. So it's not exactly 100% necessary, but it goes a long way of keeping machines from kind of getting clogged up with too many different materials, or you know, you need to craft one thing, but the machines are already tied up doing another thing. So it's kind of helps keep it spaced out. I think this is meant to be kind of a communal crafting area, but I'm not 100% sure on that. Oh, it looks like we got the coil section over here. And somewhere, yeah, right here, kind of gives you access to all the coils, the spark generators. So, very nice. Oh, and this wall is pretty interesting over here. It's like got all the different levels of warp conduits that kind of gives it almost a trippy appearance to it. Pretty cool. And I think the intent is that this entire room is going to be kind of encased in that sort of thing. Ooh, we got the forge cave. Oh yes. So I really like these kind of almost honeycomb shapes, but just beware, you can actually get into the beams. I was testing it out one night and just about killed myself. I was actually kind of stuck on top of the machine in order to prevent further damage to the coils and to myself. I ended up just returning to Sanctum to get out of there. So something like that happens to you, that's always a handy way of getting out of such a situation if you don't want to risk either dying or damaging coils further. So pretty nice little setup here. Got lots of, so you can literally just queue up, you know, one forge for each machine to essentially produce those products faster. So pretty cool. And then on the other side of this kind of water pool slash elevator is kind of a communal guild storage area, and has this pretty interesting, it's like a refined iron snake actually, and it has a name. Of course I can't remember what the name is because I've slept since then and I'm rather terrible with names to begin with, but looks like each kind of member of the community has a communal storage, so I'm not like, this might be a place to kind of drop off materials like, oh, I'm going to get you a whole bunch of stone or something and leave it in your storage area or something like that. I'm not 100% clear what this is used for, but pretty interesting. And actually has a pretty interesting feature over here. I thought all of these beacons were more or less decoration because, I mean, they look pretty cool for this kind of hallway, but apparently each one of these beacons is actually for like one of the roads or kind of community areas, so you can literally just walk up and down here to gather all the footfall that's been collected. And then over here kind of connects to the main hub area, but this with this really cool kind of guild vault type thing with this pretty awesome vault door, and got some water kind of flowing around here, the chrysominters and golds. Looks very nice. And pretty cool how the water is flowing down into this natural cave, so pretty cool. As you might imagine, quite a bit of this town is still a work in progress. They're still growing, still building, so. But so far, looking quite nice. But moving along, this building wasn't even here last time I was here, which was only a day or two ago. So this building, while clearly still work in progress, went up really fast, and I'm just kind of, I don't know, looks like maybe these are spots for portals, or not entirely sure what the intention is, but it looks like they're off to a pretty nice start. I wonder if that's like, I don't know if that's a guild crest or just kind of an interesting design that they threw up there. Oh. And over here, oh yes, so we have a chaos cafe, and then there's even a kind of the chaos sanctuary with a little kind of swimming pool, a sauna, and basically a spa, I guess is a better term for it, but got just about every food imaginable for sale in here. So very nice. I'm not sure how the pricing actually is, but if you just wanted like a sampling of like, oh, is this food, what does this do, do I even like it, they have pretty much everything here as far as I can tell. And yeah, this one kind of cracks me up, is like, it's a doormat slash incinerator, so I guess that's one way to keep dirt and things from kind of piling up. But let's go check out the spa area. And I just love how these builds have a lot of nature incorporated. So we got the dark glass kind of acting as the planter bed walls or borders or whatever, but then all these nice leaves, grass, surface resources, just very nice. And in here is kind of like a brew section, so we have the recovery, the healing, speed, cleansing, and strength brews. So very nice. Looks like they're pretty reasonable prices as well. And down here is kind of the spa area. I love this sign over here. It's like, swim at your own risk. And I just like, first time I saw it, I was like, cannonball, and then it's like, holy moly, that is really deep. Apparently, from what I told, this goes all the way down to mantle, if I'm not mistaken. There's a couple of these, like these are a halfway, or this pool is a natural generation of the planet. Otherwise there wouldn't be water here, but yeah, they kind of built over the top and turned it into a swimming area, so pretty nice. I'm not really sure what this is for, but these over here, I don't know, I asked, it's like they kind of strike me as lockers, but I didn't exactly get an answer either that I'm really aware of. But, you know, they're kind of the size of lockers, they got names on them, so that's kind of my thoughts on it. And then we have a little sauna area over here, which is an excellent use for this dark glass, in my opinion. Not to mention the furnace bases right there with probably campfires underneath there, but I guess they could be beacons as well. But very nice. Okay, so jumping outside the Chaos Cafe and coming, I guess, a little further to the north, we have this area. So Hopper Hour Buffet. Oh yeah, so this is kind of almost like a nightclub up here. This is pretty interesting. So we got the, let's see here, is that decorative or refined? Let's see here, do I have totem on me? It's Oort something or another, I know that much. Decorative Oort stone, yes. So it's Hopper Hour somewhere, we got some drinks, and it has some kind of goofy drink names over here. Liquid Courage, Oort on the Rocks, Super Ocean, Brew Goggles. Oh, so very nice. Oh, and even got some slide or slime over there. Pretty interesting. And then down below, I'm not really sure what's going on with this door, because you would think it would be locked with the 2 guild locks right there, but maybe they're distracted by the furnace bases. But this is a kind of personal crafting area for Chaos Mistress. And she's had the pleasure of meeting quite a few of the community members here, which they're all super friendly. But yeah, she's talking about her crafter being quite a wimp, so she has portals kind of connecting all of the major places around the town. So you literally could just kind of go through portals to get everywhere instead of walking. It kind of helps keep things a little bit more systematic, at least for me, by walking around, of hopefully not missing anything. But I think right over here, yeah, is an area that kind of doubles as a farming location, so quite nice. Oh, they must have like some gleam or something kind of buried in these leaves. That's pretty nice. And hopping over here, it's another kind of personal build, and the doors might be locked. I'm not 100% sure, don't quite remember. Yep, so that's locked, but very nice kind of aesthetics on the inside there. Got some LEDs going, kind of almost has like that ultra modern look. And over here, ooh, this one's unlocked. So Chaos at Home looks like the beacon name, kind of this really nice, almost like a greenhouse or garden area up here. Very nice. And got these doors leading out to this beautiful natural forest area. Oops. Okay, that works too. And I think they have a big, huge moai over here, which is, I don't know, just the chisel system in Boundless just seems almost perfect for this, if I can not fall into the water for 2 seconds. But yeah, got like these really gnarly looking earrings on. And what is this one? It's like, yeah, just kind of a thing sticking out. But you can actually get inside of this one, at least to a certain extent. Oops. There we go. And yeah, I can kind of get inside and look out through the eyes, basically. Somewhere. There we go. So, pretty cool. And hopping back over to the nightclub, there is this pretty cool bridge over here. You can't really see a whole lot of it at night. The top is pretty well lit, and these roads are very nice with all the decoration and chisel detail in them. But over here is kind of like the area set aside for expansion. They are hoping to get some more people out here, and I don't believe I've checked this one out yet. Looks a little bit on the kind of simple side, but nothing wrong with that. And then over here is kind of another ultra modern. It even has this nice little kind of riverside, pond side, lakeside, whatever you want to call it, dock right there. Not a whole lot on the inside, this one, but still, it's got a nice overall design. Yeah, look at that monster window. That's pretty crazy. Kind of a nice use of, you know, got the wood blending into the stone, so pretty cool. But yeah, over here where they have all of these warp conduits kind of branching off in different directions, that's kind of marking off future roads, basically. So I guess if you wanted to kind of move out here, build with these guys, and get to know them, then you can kind of get in touch with them and see about getting a spot to basically call home. And that's one of the things I do really like about this town, is that it's not overly just like exploded already, at least. You know, there's plenty of room to kind of expand. It's not overly like overly built up, I guess, with like towers going up to max build height, and you know, it's kind of got a nice open and naturey feel to it. So but I think that kind of wraps up this video. I can't think of really anything we've missed so far. There are a few things way over yonder, but I believe those are part of a different settlement. So, oh yeah, we have a couple of other Moai heads over here as well. A little bit smaller. Amusingly, this one I thought had like orc tusk, like kind of poking out here, but apparently that's supposed to be like a handlebar mustache or something. So, but anyway, this was Jiivita. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, be sure to hit the like button, subscribe if you want to see more like this, and if there's anything you didn't like, please let me know down below. Also, if you like my channel, want to get cool perks, check out my Patreon page. Until next time, peace.